contributing to the national or international education system? And what was the value for you? And what's the value today?
Resounding yes to the first question. There's not even a question about it. If you look at schools like Morgan State University, North Carolina A&T, Howard University, Morehouse, Spelman, if you look at the product that those schools are putting out, if you look at the impact on very specific fields, whether it's law, business, engineering, to name a few, on the world, you'll see that the impact is profound. There have been many years, including presently, where Morgan State University is the number one producer of Black engineers in America. There's years where sometimes that's North Carolina A&T. But there are a lot of different ways in which the landscape, the professional landscape across so many different industries would look immensely different if HBCUs did not exist. And the reality is this, and I'm sure you've heard this being a lawyer for as long as you've been a lawyer. It's not uncommon to walk into places and be the only Black person in the room, or be the only Black male in the room, or walk into an organization where there are no Black people in that entire organization. I know I've heard people say, we'd love to have a more diverse body of people here, but we just can't find anyone that
Qualified?
doesn't look like we look. We can't find any Black that, we just can't find them, right? It's something that I've heard, whether it's in the academic, from an academic perspective, or a corporate America perspective, or even, high levels of federal government. It's not uncommon for, to have, for example, prosecutors' offices prosecuting people in cities that are overwhelmingly Black and have no Black prosecutors in the office, or have no Black judges on the bench. And so, HBCUs play integral role in producing bright, sharp, talented people of color primarily, even though, all races go to HBCUs, but who leave those schools and go out into the world and excel and become the best in their fields and compete with the top talent in the world. And I'm very fortunate to be a product of that. Very fortunate that I was able to leave there and go to law school and compete and be amongst the best and be the best in many respects, and go on to have a very successful legal career that I can tie directly back to my foundation, having attended HBCU. And when I talk to my friends from high school or childhood who went to place, whether it's, Penn State or Rutgers, I grew up in New Jersey, so a lot of my friends, went to Rutgers, or, people went to Cali or Florida or wherever. They had good experiences there. But when I talk to them about my experience, 100% of the time, their mouths just open.
Yeah.
And they're just in awe at just what I'm describing. And obviously a description is not even, it doesn't even compare to the real thing, right? But just me talking about my experience there, the connections I still have, the fact that, I still have, a core group of 6, 7, 8 guys who, at any given moment, we're tapping into each other professionally, financially, we're traveling together, we're sharing networks and just opening up new worlds to each other. And that's just not the reality for most people. And it's something that I even take for granted sometimes, that everybody has this, right?
Right. Right.
But the more I live and interact with people, I realize, no, everybody does not have that. No, everybody does not go back to, their undergrad for homecoming every year and spend several days, having fun with, partying with, networking with people who are now out in the world as successful professionals in their respective fields.